It's a dirty game out here, man. It's a real dirty game. They are protecting somebody.
What was supposed to be a normal day in court for Diddy suddenly turned into absolute chaos. Not because of the lawsuits, not because of the raids, but because of something much bigger. An alleged HIV report with Diddy's name on it. And here's the craziest part. This shocking detail didn't come from a journalist, a whistleblower, or even an enemy. It came straight from Diddy's own attorney. Now imagine the room. The confident mogul we've all seen for years. Sunglasses on, chest out, untouchable. Suddenly breaking down in tears, whispering to those around him, "They dragged me. They set me up." But was this really a setup? Or was it the beginning of a decades-long secret finally crawling into the light? Stick with me, because what happens after this? Wild parties, compromising tapes, blackmail, and a scandal that ties in Meek Mill, Nicki Minaj, and even Whitney Houston might be the unraveling of an empire. So let's start at the courtroom. Diddy's been fighting off allegations for months. Lawsuits, rumors of freak-off parties, whispers about drugs and manipulation. Usually, he brushed it all off with a smirk. But when that HIV report surfaced, things changed. According to insiders, the report was tied directly to him. The moment it was mentioned, Diddy's whole demeanor collapsed. No longer the powerful mogul, just a man, cornered, exposed. People in the room described him as pale, shaking, even on the verge of tears. And that's when he mumbled the line that set the internet on fire. "They dragged me, they set me up." But if this was just a setup, why would his own attorney be the one spilling it? And that's where Jaguar Wright comes in. Jaguar Wright, the industry insider who's been sounding alarms for years, had her own take. According to her, this wasn't a setup, it was reality finally catching up. She said Diddy's tears weren't about betrayal, they were about exposure. She painted a picture of a man who built his empire on money, power, and secrecy. A man who claimed everything he did was just business. But behind closed doors, there was another side, one that wasn't meant for the public.
1,000 bottles of baby oil, which we now know was only a carrier vehicle for, the pharmaceuticals inside. Every kind of illegal essay from VHS all the way up to terabytes of streams. Of all of it, this was all left behind.
And when those doors cracked open in court, Diddy panicked. Jaguar didn't mince words. She accused him of hiding relationships, exploiting others, and masking everything under the excuse of, "It's only for money." But she also hinted at something bigger, that Diddy's private world wasn't just messy, it was dangerous.
Do those swingish things.
A swingers party with as many different people as he had at those parties. And understand this, these sessions that he's talking about swinging, there were multiple men. It wasn't just one-on-one action, and I don't know why they're all like that.
Here's where things get darker. Court claims revealed that Diddy allegedly hosted swinging parties. Not just private affairs, massive events with multiple men, women, and hired participants. And these weren't normal parties. These were high-profile, celebrity-stacked, anything-goes kind of nights. But here's the twist. If you think these wild gatherings stayed private, think again. Because the next leak suggested someone had been watching and recording everything.
Why do you think they didn't use the tape that they got from Diddy house?
Enter Meek Mill. Years ago, Diddy threw Meek a birthday bash at the Parisian Palace in Las Vegas. $25,000 a night. Same weekend as a Mayweather fight. The guest list? Pure A-list. But when footage from that party resurfaced recently, it wasn't a glamorous birthday montage. It looked more like an initiation into Diddy's twisted empire. Lingerie dancers moving like chess pieces. A naked woman laid out as a human sushi platter. Matching outfits, endless bottles. But the morning after told a darker story. Trashed mansion, broken glass, substance scattered everywhere, bloodstained bedding, and piles of used condoms. And then came the viral audio. An alleged recording from that same party went viral, supposedly catching Diddy and Meek in a compromising situation. The internet exploded. Meek immediately denied it, saying the audio was fake, AI generated to destroy him. He even wrote, My voice is so powerful as a black man from the ghetto. They want it gone. I'm under control of no human. Strong words. But not everyone bought it. Some said it wasn't AI at all, that the recording came from inside, maybe a bodyguard, maybe even Nicki Minaj herself, who supposedly had reasons to see Meek exposed. Jaguar Wright even suggested Nicki paid someone to leak it. But whether real or fake, one thing was clear. Someone wanted that night exposed, and that brought the spotlight back on Diddy's own mansions. Because according to industry veterans like Gene Deal, Diddy didn't just throw wild parties. He recorded them. Every room, every angle, over 250 hidden cameras inside his homes, capturing everything.
His deposition that he gave to the courts, he said every room was bugged, and that he did have tapes and information on a lot of different celebrities and people in the music business, people that were in politicians, and like I said, in other platforms, people that was in the ministry.
And what did he do with that footage? Allegedly used it as leverage, blackmail, a way to control not just rappers, but politicians, executives, even people in the ministry. Think about it. A celebrity, a CEO, or even a public official shows up, lets loose at a Diddy party, and suddenly their entire career is in Diddy's hands. That's the level of power insiders believe he was operating at. And if the feds really got their hands on those tapes during the raid, it could cause a domino effect across the entire industry. But here's the question. Why hasn't any of it surfaced yet? Some believe it's because Diddy isn't acting alone. Jaguar Wright says he's been protected for decades, shielded by industry giants like Clive Davis and Lucian Grange. According to her, Diddy learned his methods directly from Clive. The manipulation, the secrecy, the ability to silence people.
To try to derail the information, derail the chain of evidence, derail history as it actually happened. And he is the kind of guy that has no problem with re-victimizing people all over again.
And that connection takes us into another tragedy, Whitney Houston. Jaguar Wright has long claimed Whitney's death wasn't what it seemed. She suggested that Whitney, and later Bobby Christina, were victims of the same system, one that controlled stars, drained their money, and silenced them when they tried to escape. And in Wright's view, Diddy followed the exact same playbook.
Jaguar Wright claimed that this happened to Whitney Houston because she was trying to leave Clive Davis, and then she said the same thing happened to Bobby Christina because Bobby Christina inherited Whitney Houston's estate. And Jaguar Wright claimed that Bobby Christina's boyfriend had a meeting with Clive Davis, and this is how Clive Davis basically set it up to make the same thing happen to Bobby Christina.
Whether you believe her or not, the pattern she describes is chilling. Powerful insiders covering each other, manipulating stars, and erasing threats. And with Diddy now at the center of this storm, some are wondering, has the protection finally worn off? Here's the irony. Despite being found guilty on charges, despite health rumors, despite his reputation crumbling, Diddy is still planning a comeback. According to his lawyers, he believes he'll walk out stronger than ever. He wants to return to music, to reclaim his place. But insiders aren't buying it. One called him totally delusional, saying no major producer or executive would touch him now. And maybe that's the truth. Or maybe Diddy knows something the rest of us don't, like where the real leverage is buried. So here we are, an alleged HIV report, a breakdown in court, scandalous parties, viral tapes, hidden cameras, blackmail, and industry cover-ups that stretch all the way back to Whitney Houston. If even half of this is true, Diddy isn't just fighting for his freedom, he's fighting against an empire of secrets that might finally collapse. But here's the question. Is this really the end of Diddy? Or is it just another chapter in a story that refuses to end? Let me know your thoughts down below, because something tells me this is only the beginning.